Welcome back to the Old Barn on Ann Street. This is day 2 of flooring week. We've got a lot of work to get to this week. Redoing the floor in the main house and a rental house was a lot of work. And we've got to prep the floor. We've got to repair the floor. We got to sand the floor. We got to finish the floor. It's a lot of stuff we got to get to this week. So I think we better get started. So here we go. Now the carpet that's downstairs is actually not bad. It's in really good shape. It's fairly new. It doesn't look like it's hardly been walked on. I mean, this house was empty for like 30 years, or most of the time. There were a few times when guests would stay here over 30 years. But the man who owned it, whom we bought the house from, owned it for 50 years, lived in this house for the first 20 years. And then the last 30, he's just kind of maintained it and kept good care of it. So there's carpet that was, I'm sure, new at one point and it's barely been used, but it just doesn't fit the oldness of the house. And so we're pulling up the carpet, and this is what we're finding on the main floor. It's not the wide beams from upstairs, but it's the thinner ones that look with this a bit kind of, there's always in these kind of houses of this period, there's a bit of a design work in the way the floor is put in. You can see in the corner how they're just kind of alternated in the way they put those there. So this is the floor downstairs, and this one we're definitely gonna sand down and probably do something to it. The carpet's gone. Furniture's all moved out. Now we're just going to pull up the padding, see what's underneath. So this is what the floor looks like without the carpet or the padding. It's kind of a good news, bad news situation here. The good news is there's all the original flooring under here, the hardwood that looks just beautiful, and it's going to look beautiful when it's refinished. The bad news is it was covering over a few patch spots. It looks like there used to be a wall along here and a bit of a doorway there. And when they pulled that out, they just covered it with plywood. And this was probably a bigger fireplace or some kind of something earlier that, or there might have been a closet there or something like that. But yeah, so that's gonna have to be repaired before we sand everything down and refinish it. But all in all, I think it's going to look great. I really like the old look a lot better than the carpet look, and progress is made, but a lot more work to do. Well, now we know what we have to work with. We can see the condition of the floor, and it's ready to go for the next steps and get started on the rest of the work. But the question is, what is the next step? Well, the answer to that is in this clip and a little bit about what we're going to do tomorrow. Just a couple other notes about the process. You may be wondering why we're sanding all the floor before we've actually repaired the old spots. Excellent question, and in a perfect world, we would have done it the other way around. However, the wood that we're going to put in those spots is being custom made, and when we get it, it will not have a finished surface on it. So we won't have to take off that top layer of the old varnish, the old stain, any of that. It will be raw wood, and we custom made for those spots. I mean, we've measured how many planks we'll need, how many linear feet. We even gave them samples of what's here so that the tongue and groove will be exactly the same as what's here, and everything will go smooth. And that won't come till next week. So the problem is we're on a deadline. We have our refugees coming. We don't know when, but we think it's fairly soon. And right now is when we had time to do the sanding. So what we're going to do, sand the floor, get it all done and ready to go. Wait till we get the other pieces next week. Patch those in. Probably hand sand those so that they all, the levels of the floors match and everything. And then once that is done, then we will apply the finish, and it will all hopefully look seamless after that. But because we couldn't wait till then, because we're trying to get a lot of stuff done when we can. Today is the day we're doing it, or this week is the week we're doing that. So there it is. I wouldn't recommend you do things in that order, in the order we're going to do them, but that's what we had to do when we were working on the floors last year, about this time last year. And it's a lot of work to get done. So tomorrow we're going to get started on the sanding, and it's going to be a lot of work. So we'll see you tomorrow on the Old Barn on Ann Street.